Hello, Planeswalkers. Happy 2019 to you all. This is Eric from Bane Alley Magic, bringing you another Magic the Gathering video. Today, I'm proposing rules for a new Planeswalker-based multiplayer format, which I am calling Planes Raider. But first, a quick reminder, if you enjoy this video and you'd like to see more, please hit that like button and or that subscribe button. It helps out a lot. So, Planes Raider is very similar to Commander. The most notable difference is that your commander must be a Planeswalker. It can't be a creature. So instead of calling it the Commander, I'm going to call it the Planeswalker. The Planes Raider. But concerning cards that refer to your commander, such as Genesis Storm or any of the Lieutenant cards, for all intensive purposes, your Planes Raider counts as your commander. So, commander players all know that having a Planeswalker, or having all Planeswalkers be legal commanders, is an idea that has been tossed around a lot. We got a taste of it with Brawl, but that format has pretty much failed. Unlike Brawl, Planes Raider makes it very easy to take the commander deck you already own and convert it to the Planes Raider format. This is going to make for a really cool and interactive game, like Commander on steroids. So let's get into the details. Now, just like a commander, the Planes Raider card starts in a special zone we call the Raid Zone. And just like the Command Zone, for every time it's been cast from the Raid Zone beyond the first, the Planes Raider costs 2 more generic mana to cast. And whenever the Planes Raider would change zones, its owner may have it go to the Raid Zone as a replacement effect. What's special about the Raid Zone is, for every time it's been cast from the Raid Zone beyond the first, not only do you have to pay 2 generic mana more, but the Planes Raider enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter for each time it's been cast beyond the first. So this sounds really broken, but hear me out. When you think about multiplayer formats, Planeswalkers often have a difficult time surviving one round around the table, and they hardly ever get to Ultimate. The additional loyalty counter will give the player who gets ganged up on a special advantage later in the game, and considering everyone gets this advantage and everyone is playing with the Planeswalker commander, it's going to add really cool dynamics to the game. Everyone will have a better opportunity at ultimating their Planeswalker and causing mayhem. So, we also have 2 more new zones similar to the Command Zone. The first is called the Landing Zone. The Landing Zone is where each player may keep up to 1 basic land. Next, we have the Familiar Zone. Now, if you don't already know, a Familiar is a wizard's servant. So, in the Familiar Zone, each player may keep up to 1 non-legendary creature with converted mana cost 1 or less. Just like a commander, the land and the familiar may be played from their respective zones. If they would change zones, their controller may choose to put them into their respective zones instead as a replacement effect, and they cost 2 more generic mana to play for each time they've been played from their zone beyond the first. Now, you can make separate areas for the zones, or you can, just keep everything in the raid zone with, dice on them to represent how many times they've been played from their zone. So anyway, the 2 zones add an extra level of fairness to the game. With the Familiar Zone, each player will have the opportunity to defend their Planes Raider with a minor creature. The Landing Zone gives each player a chance to catch up if they're behind on mana. Magic players all know that being behind just a single land can keep you from even playing the game, and it can definitely ruin the multiplayer experience more than it does in 1 versus 1. You see all 3 of the other players playing the game, and you're not even playing the game. That just really sucks. So, I think it is really cool to have some little minor piece of mana fixing available to every player. Now, it may sound strange to need to play to pay 2 extra mana to play a land from the landing zone if you've already played it. But if you imagine a situation where someone, just played Armageddon, in that situation, each player is going to be grateful for the opportunity to at least have that 1 extra land in reserve, even if they need to pay 2 mana to get it out. Now, as far as deck construction goes, deck construction will be the same as it is in Commander. So each player's deck must have a total of 100 cards, including any cards that are in the Raider zone, the landing zone, or the familiar zone. All cards in the deck must match the color identity of the Plains Raider. Just like in Commander, all the cards must match the color identity of the Commander. So now you got to match the color identity of your Plains Raider, Planeswalker. Now, being that this format is a bit more intense than normal Commander, each player will start the game with only 30 life instead of 40. Beyond that, all the rules for Plains Raider are the same as they are in Commander. Right? All the rules in Plains Raider are the same as they are in Commander. You just got a few extra zones, you start with less life, and you get extra loyalty counters for each time it was cast from the raid zone. Other than that, it's pretty much the same game as Commander. So, on to the ban list. Alright, so first off, the Plains Raider ban list will include any and all cards that are banned in Commander. Okay, sorry, Prophet of Crufix. Now, in addition, Plains Raider also will have the Chain Veil banned. It's just a card that will literally go into every single Plains Raider deck. And such cards are kind of detrimental to the format. I mean, we do not want this to become a game of who gets to play the Chain Veil first, For now, the Chain Veil is the only card I feel should be banned. So, if you don't know, it's 4 generic for a legendary artifact. It says at the beginning of your end step, if you didn't activate a loyalty ability of a Planeswalker this turn, you lose 2 life. And you can pay 4 mana and tap it, and for each Planeswalker you control, you may activate one of its loyalty abilities once this turn, as though none of its loyalty abilities have been activated this turn. So it's basically going to let anyone, activate their loyalty ability an additional time for the Planeswalker, and, that's just something everyone would put in their deck. So I feel like that should be banned. Now, I know many people are going to think that Ugin the Spirit Dragon and Karn Liberated are going to be the most broken Plains Raiders, especially when they utilize the Tron lands, but personally I do not think so. First of all, with my experience in Commander, I've seen many colorless decks try to assemble Urza's Mine, Urza's Tower, and Urza's Power Plant, but I have almost never seen them actually do it. I think I've seen them do it once, and they didn't even use Expedition Map. So that's the issue. The issue is that there is only one way for colorless decks to tutor for non-basic lands, and that's in an Expedition Map. Other than that, they only get to find the Tron lands by drawing cards. So the second reason I don't think they're going to be so busted is that if you are playing Karn or Ugin as your Plains Raider, you're kind of asking to become the archenemy from the get-go, so you will probably get ganged up on more often than not. So I do not feel Karn and Ugin need to be banned just yet. I thought of banning Sol Ring, but I decided against it. The reason is, it's a card that pretty much every player has already purchased. You've already spent the money on it, so I think it would be stupid to tell everyone that they spent their money for nothing. I think Sol Ring is fun, so I approve of it. And that is pretty much it. That's the new format I've created called Plains Raider. So the name comes from the idea that Planeswalkers are, waging war across multiple planes, just like Urza and Yawgmoth did in the lore. So let me know what you think. Is this too broken? Do you have any other ideas for cool new rules? Are there any cards you think should be banned in Plains Raider? Please let me know in the comments section. Hopefully soon I can get some gameplay videos up and you can see Plains Raider in action. So that's all for today. I hope you all enjoy your 2019. This is Eric from Bane Alley Magic signing off. Until next time, take care, take it easy.